Here are some hypermobile friendly ab exercises that are a lot nicer on your neck. I'm a strength coach with EDS and I have struggled over the years to find ab exercises that work for me, either because my neck gets set off or because it creates too much pressure in my head. So here are some alternatives that might work for you. So this one here is called a reverse counterweight walk. You hold the weight in front of you and walk backwards. And I love this one because you're standing up. You don't have to lie down. There's nothing going on with the neck. You can use a light weight if it's too much strain on your neck. And you can use the band here, how I'm using it, or just hold on to the weight itself. The trick is for this one, you walk backwards, which makes you feel it way more in the abs than if you would walking forwards. All right, next exercise. So this is a neck-friendly version of an exercise called a McGill curl-up, which is similar to a sit-up. The McGill curl-up helps to take the hip flexors out of it, but it can be a lot on the neck. So this is a neck-friendly version of that. The way this exercise works is we've got the band attached here to something, or you can use a cable if that's what you've got. And we're lying down on the ground with one leg bent and one leg straight. So then we want to maintain a slight curve in the low back, nothing crazy, but we just don't want to flatten our low back against the floor, the natural low back curve. We want to maintain that. And the next thing is we brace really hard through our abs. Then we pull the band down towards our feet and we make sure we maintain that brace throughout the whole thing. So one leg bent, one leg straight, we brace first, then we pull the band down towards our feet. Once you're there, you hold it for a couple of seconds and you can breathe through that so you don't have to worry about head pressure or anything like that. Then hold the brace as you lower it back to the starting position. And if you need extra support for your head, you can use a pillow, rolled up towel, whatever. If you're doing this one with a cable, you can also track the weight that you're using and overload that over time, which makes it a great strength exercise too. Now, this next exercise is going to work more through the side of your abs, or if you want to get fancy, it's going to work them through the frontal plane. This is called a suitcase carry, and you literally just carry something in one hand and walk with it. And again, you can hold just the weight or use a band like this for a bit of extra challenge, and that is the suitcase carry. This next exercise works similar muscles. It's a standing version of a side plank. So you have the band attached to something down low. Then what you want to do is brace through your midsection. And if you don't know how to brace, imagine someone's punching you in the stomach. So brace through the midsection, then stand up with the legs and hold for 10 or so seconds. Now, if you want to add a little bit more challenge to this one, you can try holding a weight in that same hand that you're holding the band. It's just going to add a little bit more resistance in a different direction. Or you can always perform it in the cable machine, which again is a great way of tracking and measuring and overloading the weight that you're using. Just make sure, again, you're bracing before you lift. Very important. All right, next exercise. And this is a little bit of a weird one, but it is a kneeling cable version of a plank. So what you want to do, you do need one of these long attachments here. If you don't have one, you can buy one or make one or use bands. But what we want to do is we have something set to roughly around neck height, and we are attaching the attachments onto our forearm, and we're basically imagining that we're doing a plank. So I do have a little bit of load on here, but as you can see, it's not really moving very much. This isn't a big movement exercise. What we're thinking of doing is we're thinking of driving our forearms into the ground. Obviously, there's no ground there, but imagine you're doing a plank and driving your forearms into the ground, and that's this exercise. Last exercise, this is not an exhaustive list, by the way, but we've got to stop somewhere. So this one is a rotational exercise. The first exercise also did some rotation, but this one's a little bit more rotation focused. So what I've got here is I've got the band attached to something roughly shoulder height. It's kind of hard to see because of the angle, but that is shoulder height, and I'm sitting on a bench. So I'm going to grab hold of the band and then I'm going to extend my elbow out and keep the elbow pretty much in that locked position, not hyperextended, just straight. And then what we're doing is a very slight movement. It's not huge. It's just very slight pushing away. You'll feel the band wants to pull you, rotate you back, and you're sort of just pushing very slightly against that. You can see on the other side, it's a very slight movement, not a huge movement for this one. And this is a rotational ab exercise. So those are just some exercises to get you started. I wouldn't say to go and do all of them in one workout, but there are some that you can space out throughout your week, or some of them you might like, some of them you might not like, but they're just some ideas to get you started. As always, make sure you're cleared for exercise first. And if you're working with a physiotherapist, double check with them to make sure that it's the right exercise for you to do. And when it comes to the neck stuff as well, if you're getting weird symptoms with your neck getting set off, definitely consult a doctor. Let me know in the comments below if there's another type of exercise that you have a specific problem with related to Ehlers-Danlos that you need some help brainstorming some alternative exercises for.